Welcome back to the Southern Scene on WSAV. It's time now for our legal scene, and today's topic can be quite frustrating, dealing with insurance companies. And now Mark Tate joins us of Tate Law Group.
Yes.
Thanks for joining us, Mark.
My pleasure.
Of course, we're talking about insurance company tactics.
We are.
So insurance, it's a big business here, and they're not always easy to deal with.
Well, obviously, insurance companies are a huge business. They're very profitable companies. That's why they have, entire buildings named after them in Manhattan and have private jets they fly people around. That's why they sponsor, professional sports and professional golf. They make a ton of money, but, the way insurance companies make money is we pay them premiums. And they're not in business to pay you claims. They're in business to take your money, take your premiums, and to legally avoid paying you on your claims. Now, that's not to say they're doing things illegal. They occasionally do, and we try to catch them when they do, but their job and the way they make money and the way they have this lucrative business is by legally avoiding to pay claims.
Well, let me ask you this, because I was reading a report that was done by the American Association for Justice, and I found this to be really interesting, because the title of it was called Claim Denied, Tricks of the Trade, How Insurance Companies Deny, Delay, Confuse, and Refuse.
Yeah, that's what they do.
I mean, do you think that's truly
That's exactly
the case?
what they do. The American Association for Justice is a group that I've been a part of for years. I was the chair of their Young Lawyers Division. 10 years ago, I won their Most Outstanding Young Trial Lawyer of the Year award, and so I'm familiar with what they do, and I know the research that they put behind their studies and articles that they publish. And that's exactly what insurance companies do. They want to do that, but these are their negotiating tactics, and people have the ability to level the playing field against insurance companies in order to be able to hire lawyers that are as good as the insurance company lawyers. Our system allows people to pay for their lawyers based upon a recovery. It's called the contingent fee system, and that means that anybody who works at WSAV, anybody who's watching your show, Natalie, has the ability to go out and hire Tate Law Group or hire a lawyer that is equally as good, equally as well educated, equally as well versed in the law as the individuals who are going to be defending insurance companies. And so most normal people, I don't know anybody that could afford to pay $600, $700, $800 an hour to a lawyer to bring a lawsuit. But that's the kind of fees that insurance companies pay their people. And they're far more sophisticated at claims handling than any one lawyer can ever be. So you can level the playing field and you can fix it so their tactics to delay can be treated as bad faith. And if an insurance company acts in bad faith toward you, you can hold them accountable for what they do wrong.
How do they place a worth on an injury?
Yeah, well, that's like one of the hardest questions that we ever deal with, and it's something that you learn representing individuals how to do, and you have to examine what happened. What did the person that you seek to hold accountable do? What did they do wrong? And you have to examine the injuries. Obviously, a made-up injury or a questionably validated injury that's supported by chiropractic care that comes on days or months or years after the actual crash or event, that's going to be a lot harder to connect to somebody's negligent actions. The best case, the case unfortunately, is the case that you never want to have. In other words, we don't deliver dump truck loads of money to people who are not hurt.
So if an insurance company offers you a settlement, should you just take it?
Absolutely not. We have a great example of something like that going on right now in the office. We represent a young fella who was involved in a crash, and the fella who hit him was insured, and the insurance company called the injured party the next day and said, "We're going to offer you all our money." But there's a trick, because if you accept that money and sign a release, then you can't go after your own underinsured motorist coverage. And so in this instance...
So that would be one of the tactics.
And that's a tactic. Come and sign the release. Sign the release, and that waives all of your right to pursue the rest of the insurance companies or coverage that you have been paying premiums for.
Oh, one last question. Okay, so if there is somebody out there, or maybe they've been injured, and what are some strategies that they can take? I mean, where insurance companies are concerned, because there are some things that can affect settlements and that kind of thing. What would you say to them? I mean, obviously they should talk to an attorney.
Well, we have a lot of rules here. If you're in a crash and you're calling us before you see a doctor, we are going to be hard pressed to be too enthusiastic about your case. You got to be healthy before you can be a litigant. And also it hurts your credibility if the first person you call after something happens is a lawyer. Get your health straight first. Second thing is insurance companies want you to sign a lot of stuff. One of the things that they want you to sign is a medical records release authorization. And that medical records release authorization is going to give the insurance company to go digging back to the time you were born, getting medical records to find and try to show that something happened to you back then that's actually what's wrong with you now rather than what their insured tortfeasor did. So don't sign a thing, sign nothing. And if you have questions, you need to call a lawyer.
Okay, well, thanks for joining us. A lot of great information there, Mark.
Letting me.
If you have a legal question for our legal expert, Mark Tate, send us a message. You can find that information right there on your screen. Go to our website page or Facebook page. We'll get your legal questions answered for you. Don't go away. We'll be back with more of The Southern Scene right after this.